Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing great, and you should be, because today is a very special day because Disney Pixar just dropped the Toy Story 4 teaser trailer, and it was fantastic to say the least. It's always around this time of year when they drop the trailer for their summer movie, so I always look forward to like this week or two. And I remember when Cars 3's trailer came out about 2 years ago, I was in like another dimension. It was so exciting, and I feel the same right now. But that trailer was in stark contrast to the Toy Story 4 trailer, which is presented to be an easygoing, lighthearted, and of course fun adventure, which is what we expected. Now, before we get into the trailer, I'm going to read the synopsis that they put in the description of the trailer. Woody has always been confident about his place in the world and that his priority is taking care of his kid, whether that's Andy or Bonnie. But when Bonnie adds a reluctant new toy called Forky to her room, a road trip adventure alongside old and new friends will show Woody how big the world can be for a toy. And then it says that the movie will come out on June 21st, 2019. So we'll talk about this a little more as we go through the trailer and see how they connect to each other. But it seems like it's going to be a road trip, like a buddy road trip film. So that will be awesome. But anyway, let's break down this trailer, starting with the music. It's always very important to take a look at the music and look at the lyrics. So the song that plays throughout like half the trailer is called Both Sides Now by Judy Collins. And it's essentially a metaphor for the idea that everything has a good and bad side. That ambiguity, there's always like another layer to something. So for example, when you're a kid, you see clouds as ice cream castles in the air. But when you're older, now they only block the sun, they rain and snow on everyone. So those are actually a couple lines from the song I pulled out and put into a sentence to make us understand it a little bit more, because it is pretty abstract. But this clearly extends over to love and life in general, which Collins does talk about, or sing about rather, later on in the song as she kind of develops the meaning a little bit more. Now, what does this exactly mean in the context of Toy Story 4 and this trailer? Of course, there's the literal meaning in the trailer with the sun and the clouds in the background. The clouds are kind of, blocking the sun a little bit, making a little bit of a glare. And then, when the new character Forky comes around, who we'll talk about a little bit more later, the sun is gone from the scene. Of course, it's still bright, and there's just the clouds there, no more sun. So I found that kind of interesting. But in a deeper understanding of it though, you can connect it to the theme of how Woody, Buzz, and the rest of them live in such a small world, isolated in Andy or Bonnie's room. But there's a lot more to it that they are completely naive to. Now, I'm thinking this because of that synopsis that we just read, saying how Woody doesn't know how big the world can be for a toy. Now, moving on to the actual content of the trailer, we can see all the main toys holding hands and appearing to be jumping around in a circle. This is a direct callback to the end of Toy Story 3, where they are all holding hands in the garbage incinerator before the aliens save them. I don't know about you guys, but I find that very interesting, but also like a little weird, a little dark. Like, why would they be calling back to that scene in particular? But that's kind of cool. Now, as for the toys themselves, they don't seem to have changed at all, which is great, but the animation looks better than ever. I love it. They just look so realistic to like an actual toy, and Pixar, they amaze us every time with the, increase in ability for their animation. Now, Ham looks to be saying something, actually. If you look at him, his mouth is moving, he's looking around, but they removed all the dialogue up until Forky comes around. And now this Forky, he's a weird dude. First of all, he's actually a spork and appears to be a hodgepodge of a bunch of random things. He's got pipe cleaners for arms, popsicle sticks for legs, and some clay or dough of some sort attaching them all together. And he then proceeds to freak out and say, "I don't belong here," which messes up the nice circle they had going. Like, Woody just looked at him. He's like, what are you doing? And then like Buzz crashes into him, and it just like ruins everything. We have a dramatic slow motion scene where they all kind of fly around in disorder. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head's pieces are scattering around. Ham's coins are coming out the top. One of the aliens is stuck in Slinky's spring. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. And then Forky says, I'm not a toy, which I find kind of interesting since the synopsis literally says he is a toy, but maybe he like initially doesn't think he is, but eventually he like realizes that even though he's supposed to be a fork, he can also be like a toy because of the other stuff. I don't know, we'll see what happens there. But to end it off, Woody says, hey, somebody get him before he pokes an eye out. And this leads me to believe that Forky will be somewhat of that annoying antagonist. Not like a bad guy, but just that one person or item or toy or whatever in the beginning of a movie that no one likes because they're so annoying and they just don't fit in, but then will eventually come around when a larger threat is posed. So that's just kind of my opinion on it. You guys might disagree. Maybe he is like the big villain of it all, but looking at him, it doesn't look like that. He looks kind of innocent, like the way like he says what he's saying, it seems pretty genuine that he's just kind of like scared, doesn't want to be with them since they're all toys and he's a spork. Now, if you put on captions during the YouTube video, you can actually pick up on some things you probably didn't catch because Disney Pixar actually like added the captions themselves. It's not just YouTube's interpretation of it. It's actually Disney, like they put this in there, so you want to click that button and see what's going on. But if you didn't, I will tell you right now. So after Forky messes up the dance they had going, or whatever you want to call it, Woody's like automatic voice, like if you were to like pull his string, it says, there's a snake in my boot, and Buzz's goes to infinity and beyond. So it's like, you know, hit the button and pull the spring, and like those automatic responses are coming out, which I find kind of interesting, but they are extremely muttered by whatever else is going on. So you want to listen closely and put on the captions. And the other ones, the other voices, you can hear a little bit better. Like, of course, Rex says, the panic is attacking me. Kind of a weird line there. Ham says, oh boy. And Slinky says, golly Bob howdy. So that is all for the actual content of the trailer. And honestly, it doesn't give us too much to speculate on. A couple years ago, they announced that Toy Story 4 would be about Woody and Bo Peep and exploring their relationship a little more. But this doesn't seem to be like that at all. So they probably changed it a little bit, but we still may see some aspects with Bo Peep that they kept in the plot. Now, in addition to the trailer, Disney Pixar also dropped a poster for the movie that showcases solely Woody in a dusty ambiance. He's tipping his hat down and looking up as if wishing farewell to the rest of the toys. Now, some people are immediately saying, oh my god, Woody's going to die. What am I going to do with myself? But while I definitely don't think Woody is going to die, you know, our beloved Woody, he's not going to die. I think that this will still be his send-off in a way. Toy Story 4 will most likely be the last movie in the franchise. And I know, I don't want to say that, but Disney Pixar, they said that they don't want to do many more sequels. They want to do like all original stuff. But maybe there still will be one more because 4 isn't odd. Just kind of a weird number to leave off with. But, you know, it has been Woody's story all along. From day one, it's Woody's story. You like Buzz, you like the rest of them, but it's Woody's movies. So you gotta make this movie really his own. And I think that's what they're doing here, especially with this poster. That remorseful look in his eyes really hits me with the feels. And man, it blatantly contrasts what we saw in the trailer. The lightheartedness and everything is a stark contrast to that. And I really do think that he will be, you know, going somewhere, because the way that they present this poster as if like we are, or maybe like, I don't know, he's like looking above us. So maybe like the toys are somewhere and he's like looking to them, tipping his hat down, giving his respect and saying his final farewell. So that's kind of sad, but you know, we'll see what happens. And let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your predictions, speculation, because I always love replying to you guys and getting a good conversation going. I find that to be the most fun thing ever when we can talk about our shared passion. So yeah, let me know what you guys think is going to happen in Toy Story 4. It looks like it's going to be great. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon with the next Toy Story 4 reveal, whatever it may be. This will be similar to my Cars 3 uploading style a couple years ago, where I did videos on pretty much any news that came out for the movie, at least for the first like 3 months, where everything's pretty dry. There's only like a logo here and there, like some underwear, like some swimming trunks that come out, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing videos on all that good stuff. But for now, that is all. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.